What's up YouTube, and we're back with a RickoRex original, a Draven Darius all-out Overwhelm deck. Now for those of you who don't know who RickoRex is, he's a top-level player and exclusively only plays Overwhelm decks, just completely addicted to the Overwhelm playstyle and keeps on trying to innovate, refine and find new concepts and new lists on how to make the Overwhelm playstyle work. And RickoRex recently built this spicy deck, went on a 10-1 tear in the Masters ladder, and we're going to be taking a look at it today. Overall, this looks fairly similar to what Overwhelm decks used to look like before Targon came out back in 2020, a long time ago by now. But Fallen Reckoner is definitely one of the newest and spiciest additions to this list, just giving the deck much more sustained pressure and also a lot more utility. This is both a great value card while also being a great tempo card simultaneously. Very interesting mechanic and very fun to use. But I give you guys a quick overview of the deck first. So the main ideas are we have a lot of mana efficient, rather cheap units that provide great stats on one hand side, and the Overwhelm tag on the other hand side. To make sure our units are well statted, we have Omen Hawk as buffs, we have Troll Chant as protective spells, as well as Whirling Death, which can preserve a unit mid-combat and can ensure an Overwhelm unit to connect with the enemy nexus by removing its blocker. At the same time, to pump up the offensive stats of these Overwhelm units, or whichever units go through and are left unblocked, we have Brother's Bond as a 3-of. Keep in mind that this is a grant effect, it's permanent, it can be used on multiple attacks, and Decisive Maneuver is quite amazing, especially if we go for one of those very wide big board swings. And at the same time we can stun an enemy Overwhelm blocker, which again sends that unit to the back row, and the Overwhelm unit hits the nexus for the full attack amount. So much for spells and combat tricks. The rest is basically either Overwhelm units, Iron Ballista, Fallen Reckoner, Darius, Ancient Yeti, which we often want to keep in the mulligan to get this discount rolling, play it very cheaply in the mid game. Captain Farron, amazing finisher, also giving us access to Decimates and therefore burn damage. Speaking of burn damage, Imperial Demolitionist with a bit of reach and finishing prowess, and House Spiders are just amazing to swarm the board and give additional targets for Brother's Bond as well as Decisive Maneuver. Overall, a very straightforward, aggressive mid-range Overwhelm deck. It's pretty simple to play, and therefore I would recommend it for climbing at all stages and all levels of the game. And I'm very happy to see a list like that actually perform well. These type of pure stat-driven lists have been out of the meta for a while just because there have been so many answers. But the unique thing about this list is how many Overwhelm tags it can provide and how it can just buff those Overwhelm units out of nowhere with Brother's Bond, with Decisive Maneuver, or with Whirling Death, making sure those units connect with the Nexus. Therefore, all of the common answers in the current meta like Vengeance, Concussive, Palm, and Homecoming and so on cannot quite keep up if we have 3 or 4 Overwhelm units hitting them. I've had a pretty fun and pretty easy time continuing the climb on my NA Smurf with this deck. Went all the way up to Diamond 1, and I want to share some of the experience with you.
Is it the mustache? Who knows?
Alright, the boogeyman of the meta. Just had to double check what all of these cards do, what our deck looks like. Okay. And we're going to be very reliant on draws, but double Omen Hawk generally and nuts opening in this deck. Yeah, that double buff is quite useless. There's a case to be made for Ballista being better. Really depends on what our opponent's hand looks like. So, could also just develop. If my opponent plays Wayfinder, the Overwhelm damage goes through. Plays around Homecoming in a way. I don't think my opponent would play Homecoming, but... Good thing is I can discard this Farron at this point if needed. Okay. Could also just not swing with this guy. Kinda need board space though. I think it's good.
Your attack is obvious. Time for the moneymakers.
The idea here is we won't really get the chance to play both Farrons anyway before the game ends. And I kind of want board space because I probably go Spider next turn, maybe another unit and then Darius on 6, right? A recall on this would be really good if they play it. Okay, this can only be a recall. It's the only 1 mana spell my opponent can put on the stack. Seems like they're saving it for Droplet. Like, Palm is probably one of the most useful cards my opponent can have in this matchup. So very glad that they didn't recall that.
Extra hands never hurt.
If we top deck Decisive Maneuver, I might recontemplate about Darius.
Walk softly, strike quickly.
Okay, so I have to assume there is a good chance we're dead on to the turn 7 attack. Though Ahri is fairly far from leveling, but Absolver might get activated soon. First time I see him in play as a 6/6. It's a neat stat line though, thematically, going for this 6/6/6. Okay, so I assume that Darius tanks a Homecoming from the Droplet. Super risky against a Whirling Death on my opponent's end, but gotta assume they just YOLO this. Has to be a Homecoming, right? Or, well, a Palm, but... Holy guacamole, how greedy can you be? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. There's nothing that can stop this at 2 mana, I don't think. Can't think of anything. But yeah, that's why I was saying, especially if you're not holding a Homecoming or a Palm against an Overwhelm deck, you definitely want to be recalling the Palm guy instead of Droplet there. GG's though. Been a while since I saw that animation. Stale taste. Show me what you got. Alright, on paper it's a rough matchup because they play Palms, maybe Wills, and they play Vengeances. Is Reckoner ever a keep? That seems a bit overzealous to me. It's a pretty solid opening hand so far. Of course, Omen Hawk would make this hand significantly better, but it's fine, it's fine. And swing looks incorrect. I wanted to take out as many units as I can before my opponent's Kindred turn, right? Maybe Draven just blocks. I like Draven more here. To spam some access. What a waste of a palm. Again, same story, right? I want to take out some of the units here. I was just considering to already put access on, but there's no real upside to it. Okay. Our most mana efficient development would be Raider. Move the Yeti into next turn.
This land is ours.
Which shouldn't be a problem, like our opponent doesn't... We want to develop next turn anyway, our opponent doesn't really play punishes. Let's place a bit into the box. I guess Yeti does play around the box more nicely, but then I won't have mana for the maneuver card. I like risking it.
For the Empire.
Like, the box wouldn't be horrible here. Annoying, but not horrible. Oh, it's that version of Kindred Viego. Interesting.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
I think this is a maneuver turn. This also wouldn't have been bad.
Make the Empire proud.
No way you play Ruination. You can't fool me. I knew it! Could just let this go through, to be honest. Ah, but maneuver is kind of cute here. Oh, now it is for sure. Holy smokes, now it's so good. Well, probably should have put an axe on one of these two. I'm not really getting a better axe. It's my opponent into demo range, even though I only have one left. But yeah, it doesn't really make a difference here. Well, giving you can't block doesn't really help. We're kinda just winning on the open attack though. Okay, so from smallest to biggest. To play around Spirit's Refuge. That is a cute attempt. What do you say about this? GG, smooth sailing so far. Now I cannot look at Pantheon anymore without Mogwai's voice in my head.
Good day, citizen. Are you in need of assistance? Nonny!
God damn it, Mogwai. Maybe I should cosplay Draven while playing this deck. Gotta respect the guy's mustache. Wounded White Flame? Huh, interesting. I think in this case I actually prefer Ballista, it's just more damage. I mean, I guess playing Draven generating an axe also equals out in 1 damage. If I want to play something like a goat though, top deck goat, then Draven's better. Could bait my opponent into playing Shyvana and trying to block with her, but then if they have single combat additionally, we might be totally screwed. I think I prefer the open attack. Nice.
Dragon blood is my heart.
See if we can bait out a garbage single combat. Could even stop it with a troll chant. I should desire. Do I want to? Okay, so our opponent showed us that they definitely hold a single combat. End round, I guess. Keep mana for a bunch of combat tricks for the attack. I can just let this go through, actually. Okay. Again, could try to bait out a single combat here. Technically, 8 mana available to us. Could play Ballista. We want to play Whirling Death and Troll Chant, I think, this turn. Okay, how do we do this? Just Whirling Death the Screeching Dragon. Discard 2 cards though. Or just put 1 axe here, Whirling Death the Dragon. I kind of want to use both axes. I think I just try to clear out both units, right? There's no way this doesn't work. But then what do we discard? Do we discard Farron? For sure the Ruthless Raider.
Now we're cooking.
Okay, this is just mind games, but I have a strong suspicion that our opponent's gonna fall for it. And now I'll single combat Shyvana onto this, and we can Troll Chant. Second axe. Both of their units die, both of ours stay alive. Open attack wins. What else can they do? Single combat here. Could technically do the same. Troll Chant here. Axe, both die. Or let this go through. It's our opponent's only way to not die on the open attack, I think. Ooh la la. Wait, why? Sharpsight didn't do anything to improve the situation. I'm confused.
Come out and play.
War Mason.
Like, Shyvana was surviving before the Sharpsight already. I don't get it. I guess they now have single combat for this open attack. But if I just slam Captain Darius... What you gonna do now, huh?
Your command, General Darius.
No judgment mana. That's an important little side note to take. Still a bit amazed at the fact, or rather by how often I lost to judgments against dragon decks. Seems to be a very, very popular tech. And anything that is not Masters. And GG's. 4 and zip, just running people over on our way to Masters. Octopuses, alright. Sivir Akshan. That's a solid hand though. Brother Spawn is actually an effective combat trick, but I'd only keep it if we also had a 2-drop. This is definitely a good keep. Okay. Oh, this hand's really good. Definitely going for some double buffed unit.
Scores to settle, cooks to kill. You know how it is.
Brightstate Protector, I suppose. Otherwise, the block would be natural for our opponent. 2 mana and 5/5 in stats. Not a bad card at all.
Cool eye patch.
You like it? I mean, shut up and fight!
We want to be greedier with the Yetis, I think. Okay, time to trade off some units.
This land is ours.
Just swing with everything except for the 1/1s. End rod isn't good enough.
Leave nothing standing.
Like, we either don't trade here a bit or we obliterate our own units. Definitely rather taking the aggressive option here. Very conservative of Nexus HP is our opponent here. Interesting, no play turn 4. So probably like Bruiser, Screeching Dragon, Concerted Strikes in hand.
A little further. Bingo.
This is justice.
Guess I'm open attacking next turn with this hand. Especially against what, like, all my opponent's hand seems. Cataclysm, okay.
Talk is worthless. We are
Maybe not open attacking after all. Okay. Give me a Decisive Maneuver top deck. Wait, in that case... let's get crazy and play for the Decisive Maneuver top deck. We'd still have mana to play both Yetis and the Maneuver.
My shield is yours.
Single combat. And a 2/2? Spicy. Oh, we take it. We still play both Yetis for sure. Gotta either finish the game this turn or at least put our opponent into like Demolitionist Decimate range. Because I don't know if we're gonna be pushing more damage through the board. That won't work.
No closer. Got a lizard and a shovel.
Okay, but we got Demolitionist slash... Decimate range. At this point our opponent tapped out of mana completely. There's also a chance we just win on the next attack. We still push damage through the board. Oh, that was actually a misplay. I should have saved the other Yeti. Brain farted. I forgot that the other Yeti dies to the Ephemeral. Yeah, for no reason I saved a 4-1 over A5 to Overwhelm. Wait, did my opponent just go for draw 2 with 0 mana? I guess they weren't even forced to. They didn't have to play the second sharp side, if I'm not mistaken.
Villains beware.
Peculiar attack. Why would you trade the units off? It's been a while though since I've been carried by Darius, I'm not gonna lie. Thought this was a meme, and what was the last time? The Darrowing meta? Darius harrowing? It was when last July? No, wait, that was like July 2020, wasn't it? Holy smokes. That was a long, long time ago. GG's. So I assume this is going to be Iceborn Poros just with Jinx as a refill engine. Brother Spawn's technically good in this matchup. I don't know about keeping it in the open in the hand though. Wondering if Yeti is too slow. But nah, if I have a 2-drop already, probably not. Alright, Scott. Show us what you got. Show us if you can stop our roll to masters.
The Winter's Claw strikes. The Winter's Claw.
Turn 3, turn 4. Realistically, we're not really winning before the turn 6 attack. I think in this case I'd play Ballista and not Draven. Just for a little Overwhelm. And unbuffed Poros are like so puny. So neglectable. Okay, if my opponent plays Legacy, technically Yeti would be the best play. I could play Raider, Whirling Death, whatever tries to block. But yeah, Yeti is just better if I play him later on. If my opponent passes, we know what's up. Trading these into 2 Poros might actually be worth it. I don't think it's worth investing Whirling Death. And Round is not really a thing, right? Don't think so.
Leave nothing standing.
Nice. Perfect. And I'm starting to wonder if I should have played the spiders. They kind of don't do anything on the attack. Kinda need, what do we need, Darius or Decisive Maneuver? Might have been better to play the Yeti, if those were our only outs.
Let me get you that file.
Feels a lot like Poros snacks. Okay, what's the maximum damage we can push? 6 additional damage here. Okay, I cannot let a Poro touch me, so I just have to try to kill all 3. That's my only hope. Even though this looks a lot like a Poro snacks. Don't have a choice here. Freljord Noxus. Close. All GG's.
Whatever, man. Not my fault.
Inspired? Isn't that like the name of some League of Legends player or something? Second Draven for Whirling Death isn't bad. Troll Chant would be amazing. Omen Hawk's really good. Second Draven feels a bit too greedy. Nice. Ooh, that's a good hand. You shall not pass.
No, I've never met anyone like
Ooh.
you.
MF next turn is really scary. With 2 challengers now.
I'm one of the good guys, but not that good.
Kind of trying to bait my opponent into greed attacking. Guess that works.
It's Draven time. This land is ours.
Probably just swing with Draven. Maybe Draven and the spider. End-round's okay. This is rough. I think end-round looks okay. Kinda need to push damage, I think. Or I try to OTK on the turn 6 attack. Ah, buff Draven. Unfortunate. Okay, I guess now we get use out of him.
I got this.
Let's hope for no MFs make it rain.
For the Empire.
There is a very good chance my opponent has like either Scout plus Rally this turn or a double Rally to level MF.
There's plenty of killing left. We playing build rules, son?
I guess in this case I misplayed, or misdeveloped rather. And missing out on those 2 points of mana really hurts here. This is actual madness. Why in the hell would you ever block with MF? Definitely using Whirling Death to secure the kill, otherwise Sharpsight's too good. Sharpsight plus Resolve maybe. And then nice to beat this with the axe. That's a very suspicious block. Very sus.
Looking for trouble. It found you.
Give us some room.
Seven, 8. Probably gonna have to stun her.
That's
Okay, no pre-committed Sharpsight, we live on 1. Not gonna play around enough to make it rain. So probably have to play demo here. Can pass for now because my opponent surely wants to rally, right? Ah, but then I still need demo.
If they don't break, they'll burn.
Opponent can probably play unit and rally. Okay, in this case it's all good. Well, full send it is. I wish you had Overwhelm.
You're covered.
8, 10. Guess we're hoping our opponent doesn't hold a unit. Ooh! Booyah! We so didn't deserve that win. Let's go. Reckoner actually hyper carrying a game. Who would have thought? Man, okay. That was... How did... I'm speechless. We were not supposed to win this game. Much deserved Diamond 1. Let's go.